We've seen a lot of stupid stuff happen for the Cincinnati Bengals in the last 2 years. I don't know if I've seen anything as dumb as this game. The Bengals lose to Buffalo in an unreal meltdown. Let's break it down.
You are Locked On Bengals, your daily Cincinnati Bengals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What up, Bengals fans, and welcome to another episode of the Locked On Bengals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, the number one sports podcast network in the land. He's James Rapien. I'm Jake Liscow. We've been Locked On Bengals here since 2016. That's a long time watching the Cincinnati Bengals football team, James Rapien. That's a long time watching some pretty bad Bengals football teams as well. And I don't know if I've seen anything that feels quite like today felt to me. And maybe that's recency bias talking a little bit. We'll see how that feels in a couple days. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to get right into the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Welcome back to all the everydayers out there. Welcome back to those of you who make Locked On Bengals your first listen. Brutal loss, a game that the Bengals had control of for a vast majority of the game. They're driving to take a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter, and Joe Burrow makes one of the worst plays of his career. I think it's a 60% win probability swing, according to Next Gen Stats, James Rapien, and it only got worse from there.
Well, yeah, you have two plays back to back that Zach Taylor is going to talk about a ton. By the way, also not the reason they lost. There's like 1,000 reasons, and the main reason is they can't afford mistakes like this from their best player, right? You can't have 2 fourth quarter turnovers. Because the Bills, well, they're good enough to overcome one of those fourth quarter turnovers. You can't give it right back. And yeah, even after that happened, I thought they had a chance. But when that happened, it was like, oh no. Like this was the last thing that you expected. You expect the defense to look like the defense did against Josh Allen. You expect them to not be able to guard tight ends. You expect a lot of things to not necessarily go the Bengals' way, but when you have a chance and you're at the Bills 33-yard line to go up 2 scores and you're moving the ball with ease and you scored touchdowns on 4 of 6 possessions, and really the 2 that you didn't score on were self-inflicted, you're thinking the self-inflicted stuff might be an incompletion, not a crazy pick 6 where he's trying to throw it over Christian Benford. It doesn't work. And instead of Jamar catching his 5th pass in the fourth quarter, that's what it would have been. Christian Benford's trotting in for an easy pick 6.
I mean, we got self-inflicted stuff throughout this game. It's all self-inflicted. Almost all their problems are self-inflicted. Joe Burrow can't handle the ball on a first down pass to T. Higgins, comes out a little bit slow. Higgins can't corral it on the other side. On the third down play that drive, he throws a good ball to Higgins on the scramble drill. Higgins can't bring it in. I mean, T had a wild roller coaster of a game, hit his head numerous times in this game, something that we're going to have to monitor, I think, going forward here, but also had a couple of touchdowns, a crazy one-handed catch that should have been called DPI. But you have some of that stuff. You have Joe Burrow's first interception, which is self-inflicted. It comes on a called run play. That's the worst part about it to me, James. That's the salt in the wound to me. Is they're driving. They just got a 1st and 10. They're on the Buffalo 33. They're trying to bleed clock. They're trying to add some points to make it a 2-score game, right? And say, okay, Buffalo, we're going to make it a 2-score game here, and we're going to take another 3 minutes off the clock. And you're not going to have enough time. And instead, you get Joe making a decision that based on the look, I'm going to get a corner blitz here. And it's not even a terrible decision. It's just Benford makes a play to get in the passing lane. Joe doesn't get the laces and can't get it high enough to get it over Benford, and doesn't have time to pump it and pull it down because the offensive line's already downfield. Very next play, you get a fluky tip pass interception. And after that, they still had a chance. That's the crazy thing. They still had a chance. They get a 3rd and 15, man. They get a 3rd and 15 after a sack to get off the field. They get the ball back if they get that stop with about a minute left.
Yeah.
And what do we get? You get Al Golden calling man. Yeah. What are we doing? We've seen Josh Allen beat you when you've done this in a clutch moment already, and you do it again. You call man after Allen ripped off a 40-yard touchdown run on you, and you call man with the game on the line on 3rd and 15. What is in your brain, man? I don't understand it. That's why the self-inflicted stuff, that's why I call it stupid. This is a number of mistakes that could have been avoided.
Sure. Yeah. First one, Jamar might score. All right. Like he had a ton of space on the interception. And so it's just a bad ball. I like the decision. Instead of what Chase Brown was in the backfield, I believe I'm looking at it now. Yeah. Instead of running it with Chase Brown for 2 yards, I like it. Just execute it. Right. And they didn't. And because Jamar, he had space, put it that way. And you never know if he's going to break a tackle or two. So got to get it out and throw it correctly. He didn't. But to your point, after all of this, after back-to-back interceptions, after 21 points in like just over 4 minutes given up to the Bills, and it's 39-28, Joe Burrow says, okay. And they score fast. And T. Higgins makes an outstanding one-handed catch and kind of redeems himself after a couple of drops that we'll get to. And really, it was a weird end of the half for T, and then the beginning of the second half, weird, where it kind of derails 2 drives where they could have gotten points. Regardless, makes an outstanding play, keeps them in it. They don't get the 2-point conversion, which was a weird scenario anyway. So 39-34, 3rd and 15 after, and here's the other one, Jake. It's 4th and goal from the 3. And like, if you stop them there, it's 32-28 and Joe's getting the ball back with a chance to go take the lead anyway. And you stop them completely. And so you give up that one, and that one's a bit more forgivable. It's 4th and goal. It's from the 3-yard line. Fine. But then on 3rd and 15 in a scenario where the Bills certainly, I would say probably punted unless you get like 13 yards or 12 yards. But if you give up like 6 yards, the Bills are probably punting on that play or on 4th down, 7 yards. And that's the result. Josh Allen just wide open, no one on him, no one close. No one spying clearly. And he had already had a 40-yard touchdown run, to your point. Like he had the longest run today before that. And so on 3rd and 15, he's not going to throw it away. A sack for the Bills is better than throwing it away. So yeah, you need to be good in coverage. And I thought they were pretty good in coverage outside of the tight end position, but the corners were good in coverage. They're good in coverage. Well, guess what you need to do? You need to have someone on Josh Allen that can slow him down so more hats can get to him and either get him out of bounds or get him on the ground. And they didn't. There was no one there. Like no one even close to him. And when you do that with probably at this point, the best running quarterback in the NFL, I think that's probably the case. It's certainly the scariest given their rushing attack right now. I think I think that's the play that irks me the most, because you could have, after everything, had a shot. And if Joe gets the ball back, did you have any doubts that this Bengals offense would have had a shot? I didn't have a doubt that they'd have a shot because they've been playing well all game outside of a couple of plays, 4 or 5 plays where they were catastrophic plays, but there was a few plays. And so that's painful, is for it to come down to that. And it wasn't 3rd and 4, it was 3rd and 15. And to give up a 17-yard run is unacceptable.
So many moments in this game where the Bengals were unable to capitalize. And moments that the Bills, fell on their face too, literally at one point, saving a touchdown. Ty Johnson falls on his face. James Cook fumbles it probably into the end zone twice in a 3-play span to give the Bengals life there. So it's not like the Bills played mistake-free football either. It's not like the Bills played a clean game or anything like that. But, man, the stuff that the Bengals did to shoot themselves in the foot in this one, it's really going to stay with me because, and maybe we go here next, James, the defense, honestly, for a lot of this game, exceeded my expectations. And it wasn't good, don't get me wrong, but in many ways, exceeded my expectations for a lot of this game.
They got 2 stops all game.
That is more than I thought they would get. I'll explain this a little bit more here in just a minute, because they did a couple things to get the Bengals into the half with a chance to go up 28-11. Some of that is the defense doing some things that I wanted to see the defense do in this game. Obviously didn't finish the game. They gave up 3 or 4 on 4th downs in this game. The Bills very effective on 4th down in this game. Obviously got the key plays when they needed them. The defense didn't make enough plays, but I'll defend this a little bit more here coming up next.
Today's show is brought to you by Aura Frames. Look, the holidays are officially here. You need to find that perfect gift. And gift hunting season can be tough, but it's not going to be, because if you're looking for that meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction gift, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. Aura isn't just your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it. So when they plug it in, the memories are already there. There's no apps to figure out, no setup headaches, just instant smiles. And you can load a few pictures of the good moments from today's game in Buffalo, maybe not the interception. The point is whether it's grandparents, parents, newlyweds, anyone in the family, friends, doesn't matter. Aura Frames is perfect for you. Packaging comes gift ready, no price tag, no wrapping needed. It's a huge win. It's a time saver, and it's meaningful. You got to save right now. You're going to get $35 off by visiting auraframes.com, and you're going to get $35 off their best-selling Carver mat frames. All you have to do is use promo code Locked On at checkout. By the way, those Carver mat frames voted #1 by Wirecutter. All you have to do, again, is go to auraframes.com, AURA-frames.com. Use promo code Locked On. This deal is exclusive to Locked On Bengals listeners. Frames sell out fast. Go there today. Let them know we sent you. Again, that's promo code Locked On at auraframes.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Let me just explain it real quick, James, what I'm thinking here, because you didn't like that thought. Here's what I'm thinking.
No.
Is the Bills on their first drive, Ty Johnson, right, falls, and they don't score a touchdown as a result. But the Bengals get the red zone stop. They force a field goal. Then they give up a touchdown. But then they get a turnover on downs. And then in the third quarter, up 21-18, they force a fumble. At this point, the Bengals defense has done more than I thought they would do in this game. Did I think they were good overall? No. But they got 2 takeaways, if you count the turnover on downs, which I do. The Bengals offense couldn't capitalize on that. They should have been able to capitalize on that. It should have been at least 24-11 going into the half. Could have very well been 28-11 going into the half. And getting 1 red zone stop, getting a couple of takeaways, that's more than I would have expected from this Bengals defense in this game. Did the Bengals need more? Yes, absolutely. But my expectations for this defense were not very high. And what did I talk about going into the game? I talked about bend, don't break, have a couple moments where you force a field goal or get some takeaways. And they did that a couple of times, which is all I thought they needed to do for the Bengals to win this game. And I think is enough for the Bengals to win this game, but the offense had their own mistakes.
Sure. Well, yeah, the offense wasn't perfect, and I get that. And that's why there's enough blame to go around. The defense did enough. Like, if you get perfect offense, the defense did enough. But they still gave up 32 points. They gave up 3 out of 4 touchdowns in the second. Like, the game was really like flipped on its head. The Bengals weren't in control in the third quarter. It felt like they were on their heels their entire third quarter. And they get a break because James Cook, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but stop fumbling the football. Or
we talked about that going into the game too. He puts the ball on the ground, and he did again.
He did, and he gave them a chance. But like, I already had it written. Like, if the Bills had, let's say they scored on the final play, that fumble doesn't happen, and they score on the final play of the third quarter. The Bengals had it for 1:11 of the third quarter. Because of the fumble, it ended up being like 1:46 time of possession. But the Bills just completely put Joe Burrow on the sideline, moved the ball up and down the field. It was 21-18 when the fumble happened. And then this should have been it. This should have been the turning point. And there were so many times, you're right, there were so many times where I thought, okay, this can be it. The first one being the fourth quarter or the fourth down stop by the defense. So they deserve credit there because the Bengals were up 10 and they had a chance to go up by more, and they should have. I think if Joe, to me, I thought T. Higgins reacted poorly to the Joe Burrow deep ball there and on what was it, 3rd and 19. And Joe gets sacked, and they're 7 for 7 on 3rd down. And T was just, like you said, it's a roller coaster game. Others will say Joe overthrew him. I'm not sure. I think T normally makes that catch and just kind of reacted to it, or didn't judge it the way he should have. Kind of slipped too, by the way, in the snow. So that was the first opportunity to really take control and dominate the game. The second one was when they go up 10, 28-18. You just forced a fumble. Joe Burrow says, that's great. Let's go down and score a touchdown. 12 plays, 75 yards. Boom. And
And
what
took 7
happens?
minutes off the clock in doing so, shortening the game, get a 10-point lead, 7
It's 8
minutes off
minutes
the
to
clock
go.
in the fourth quarter. Like,
Yeah.
great spot to be.
8:44 left, right? And what happens? Well, Josh Allen and the Bills go right down and score right away. 4 plays, 68 yards, 3 first downs. The last line of scrimmage was the 40-yard line because Josh Allen sprints in for the touchdown. And I'm like, oh my goodness, buckle up. Like this, when that happened, I was like, this is
Man
going to be
coverage.
wild. It's going to
Man
be wild.
coverage. Again,
Yeah.
like this is where you need to learn that lesson the first time. 2nd and 10, you call man, you have nobody to help. Josh Allen takes off on you. You have no shot.
I wonder what's the logic of playing man on 3rd and 15? But after that, like what's the logic behind it? Because
it's 3rd and 15. Like I can't actually wrap my head around it. And
yeah.
I'm trying. It's like people that listen to this podcast all the time know, like I'm trying to see it from the coach's perspective sometimes. Like I understand why Joe Burrow threw that interception, for example. I understand why that's the decision. We talked about that earlier. You talked about it too. I can't figure out how 3rd and 15 man makes sense to you with Josh Allen at quarterback. Just can't figure it out. You're only rushing for. It's not like you're like sending a blitz or something, trying to get him to throw the ball quick or whatever. It's just it's just cover one. It's straight up cover. I don't know. Can't get it.
Yeah. Because if it were me, obviously you want to get pressure, but I would want as many guys around to help gang tackle as I can. And you suck at tackling. Like, so that alone, like name one Bengals defender that you like one-on-one with Josh Allen. Because that's what there isn't one.
No.
Sorry, there isn't one. And that wouldn't matter if Trey Hendricks is on the field or not. I wouldn't want anyone guarding Josh Allen one-on-one in that kind of situation where he's obviously potentially scrambling. And that's what's tough is if you get that, I would have taken that all day. And I think the Bengals would have too. And they would have been like, let's roll. Like we have a shot here. We're going to shock everyone. And that's what's tough. Like a few weeks ago, I forget what game, but we were like, yeah, they're just bad. And it was one of the Joe Flacco games. And Joe Burrow can overcome a lot, but he's not going to be perfect. He's not going to be perfect. And the Bengals just aren't good enough as a team to overcome a wacky sequence. Like the Bills did, and part of it is because the Bengals had their own wacky sequence, but the Bills overcame it. And they were still in position. They kept the pressure on the Bengals after their fumble on the goal line. They answered. And so when the Bengals were in the midst of answering, they needed to, and it didn't happen. And that's usually what happens with teams that are just, they don't have it, because there's going to be people that say, oh, well, they're still not eliminated and all of those things. And that's fine. But man, did this feel like a game they should have won. And at halftime, I think Jay Morrison had the stats like Zach Taylor with double-digit lead. And I don't have it in front of me. Do you have it?
I can find it.
Yeah, find it as I'm talking.
It's both Zach with a double-digit halftime lead and also the Bills when trailing. I'll go find it.
Yeah, so it's both. And I read that, and I was like, all right, well, pressure's on here. Like, the pressure's on you. You've played so well. You've put yourself in this position. Like, the pressure's on you now to deliver and to go finish it. And that's how I felt going into the third quarter. And it felt like they were going to hang on. Like, I hated the third quarter. I thought it was super painful. You don't get any stops. You don't show really any chance there. And you go 3 and out on offense when you shouldn't have. T. Higgins has the drop on 2nd down. Joe Burrow misses Jamar Chase on the 3rd down. Like, that should have been another conversion. And it doesn't happen. And it just felt like it was not getting away from them, but they left the door open and they didn't need to. And another couple of haymakers there. Maybe it just feels different in the fourth quarter, and it didn't. And anyway, you have the stat?
Yeah, Jay Morrison had these. The Bills were 1-28 in their last 29 games when they trailed by at least 10 at halftime. Their only win in their last 29 games when trailing by at least 10 at halftime was in week 4 in 2022 at Baltimore. The Bengals, on the other side, are 16-1 with the 10-point lead in the Zach Taylor era and 19-1 in their last 20 overall. But we can just focus on the Zach Taylor era. Their lone loss was in week 8 this year against the Jets. The lone Zach Taylor loss when he had a 10-point or greater halftime lead. And there's another trend that unfortunately appears to be stronger than these in-game trends for the Bengals right now. And well, I'll talk about that particular idiosyncratic stat and trend here coming up next as we wrap up a heartbreaking, brutal, self-inflicted, devastating loss for the Cincinnati Bengals in Buffalo.
Today's show is brought to you by Gametime. Gametime is the app you need for games like today and for, well, any matchup, including the World Cup. By the way, did you know that the World Cup coming back to North America for the first time since 1994, 48 teams, and for the first time ever, it's got 48 teams in the World Cup. But let's be honest, getting tickets is hard. That's where Gametime comes up clutch, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's Bengals and Ravens, which boy, oh boy, is that game. Both teams reeling right now. The Ravens lost to the Steelers today. You can track price drops in real time with Gametime. Get alerts when seats open and buy tickets. The moment they hit the app, it puts the power back in your hands. It makes going to huge events like the World Cup or smaller events like Bengals Ravens easy to do. All you have to do is pull up the app, and in seconds, you can go through matchups, compare seat views, find the best tickets for you. Prices include fees up front, which I love. No last second hidden fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying World Cup tickets and tickets to any live event, match, concert with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, download the app, make an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Gametime.
We're also brought to you today by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and everything feels different. The Bengals felt that today. We saw that happen to the Bengals today. We saw that happen to the Bengals nonstop in 2024 in a bunch of games that felt a whole lot like today. And that's what makes live betting with FanDuel exciting. It gives you something besides agony when there's a sudden change moment featuring the Cincinnati Bengals. It gives you something to root for. You're not just watching the games, you're reacting to it in real time. And with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, and every highlight moment. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, check out FanDuel.com, where they've got live spreads and money lines that adjust instantly, and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast. So can you.
Self-inflicted, painful. I think, Jake, this was the type of game, had they found a way to pull it out, flaws and all. Let's say they get the stop on 3rd and 15. Let's say one of the interceptions doesn't happen in the second one. Let's just say the second one doesn't happen. They find a way to score on that possession. Josh Allen naturally goes and scores, and then Burrow scores the game winner. I would have allowed myself to be like, all right, like flaws and all, they have a real shot here. But when you keep losing these one possession games, like how many times now? I mean, it feels like it's like at least 3 times this year, less than 3 minutes left. We're seeing the Bengals go for 2 because they're down by 2 scores. They score a touchdown to get it to 1 possession. They're going for 2. Like, you never want to be in that situation. And it feels like more so than ever this season. And maybe that was the case last year and I'm just forgetting, but it's just, they found themselves in these situations time and time and time again for a bunch of reasons. And it's unfortunate because I think it's the sign that you are what your record says you are. And Burrow has made them better. There's no doubt. They controlled a lot of this game because of how Joe Burrow was playing. I mean, he started 12 of 15. They were 7 of 7 on 3rd down. He threw a frozen rope to Chase Brown, the T. Higgins touchdown. Like, it felt like they were going to win the game. I got to be honest with you. I really thought they were going to win this game. But in the second half, they let the Bills hang around, and then some of those mistakes that they made cost them.
Yeah, the 1 minute and 11-second touchdown drive that you talked about earlier when the Bengals were up 28-18, like, that's probably not a good moment. But the Bengals, to their credit on offense, had an answer, and they were 34 yards down the field on 4 plays. They'd taken 2 minutes off the clock. They're in a called run play, like I said. So say it does go 2 yards to Chase Brown on that play, like you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're up to 250, 3 minutes, 5 plays, 36 yards. Even if you don't move the ball again after that, you're under 5 minutes. You're under 5 minutes. Yeah, you're under 5 minutes at that point. And you have a shot at a long field goal. I mean, not a great place to be. You're only up 6, but you have a shot at a field goal at least. And that's assuming you gain no yards after that, which I don't think is the case. The Bengals are figuring some things out again at that point. And, you know, you credit Joe Burrow for keeping them in it down the stretch here. But the trend that I mentioned before the break there, James, was that Zach Taylor just can't win after Thursday night. And for all these things we've talked about, Zach Taylor still has never won a game in the week following Thursday night football. He has one tie back in 2020 or 2021 or whatever it was. They tied the Eagles, I think. That's it. He cannot win in the games following Thursday night football. Forgot to mention that leading into this game. And it feels a lot to me like the last time the Bengals were coming off Thursday night football in a game they lost, where they had a 2-digit halftime lead against the Jets and had a chance to do more. And they find a way to choke it away in the fourth quarter. Something about coming off Thursday night, man. That is bad voodoo, bad juju, whatever it is for these Cincinnati Bengals.
Voodoo, juju, poo-poo. I mean, that's what it is. That's how they play after Thursday night, I guess. That's a good point. It's weird. It felt like a really long break, like super long. I got to be honest. Like I think for us and for like people were ready to talk about something, ready to get the game going. And because it had just been a lot of the same coming off the holiday and all of those things. But yeah, that's an interesting one. And for them to basically, I mean, these are two games, more so the Jets game than this game, like choke away. But I still think they should have won this game. I'm comfortable saying that, in that they blew it for a bunch of reasons. They blew that Jets game. And so for them to do that, one at home, one on the road, one with Joe Burrow in a gotta have it type game. And that's how it felt. Like, let's be honest. No one's like, oh yeah, let's make the playoffs at 8 and 9 and feel like if they had beat the Bills today, that's a legitimate playoff team that we know is not only fighting for the playoffs, fighting for their division with the Patriots. They have a huge showdown next week with New England. I think New England is a little overrated right now, even though they're the 1 seed entering this week. And so it's like, the Bills are playing for a lot. And so if you went to Buffalo and won, I would be like, man, that's a really quality win after winning on Thanksgiving in Baltimore. Like, it's a real easy way to buy into maybe this can work. Maybe everything we've seen, they are figuring it out on defense, and on offense, getting Joe back just changes it. And some of that is true. I don't think there's another quarterback, probably not many quarterbacks that go there and go 12 of 15 and three straight touchdowns and 7 for 7 on third down when their average goal to go for that first down. The average distance was like 7 yards on each third down. Like, that's crazy. It wasn't like it was a bunch of 3rd and 1s. And so, man, it sucks because it felt like this could have been one of those convincing wins.
Yep.
And instead it's like same old crap where this play, this turnover, that decision by Al Golden. Like, it's a lot of the same themes now that we've discussed. And it's not just defense. It's not just turnovers. It's everything.
It's a whole team. It's incredibly frustrating. It's why, like, I don't know if I've been this frustrated after a loss in quite a while, because it felt like Burrow was playing great. Bad interception, obviously, unlucky interception. He was playing a good football game, man. Mike Gesicki, best game he's had all year. That
it's really good.
Going to be a footnote. Like you said, weird game for T. Higgins, weird game for Chase Brown. He had a great touchdown catch. He dropped another one that could have been a touchdown. Ran the ball really poorly. Didn't look like he knew how to play in the snow, which is weird. Like, he played at Illinois. It's not like he's never seen snow before in his life. He's from Canada. I mean, like,
you're right.
He couldn't move in the snow. Samaje Perine was so much more effective as a runner. Chase Brown, maybe he had the wrong cleats on or something, but looked like he was trying to cut and just did not have confidence in his footing.
Nothing. And no one else really had that. Like, you had Ty Johnson tripping, like slipping and falling. But like, James Cook looked.
The defensive ends did a couple of times, like BJ Hill on the Josh Allen touchdown to Khalil Shakir, like, didn't look like he could stick his foot in the ground and redirect. The ends a couple of times didn't look like they could redirect. But yeah, Chase Brown, very noticeable. Yeah,
it's, man, I'm just looking at some of these stats. You would have taken 4.4 yards on average for James Cook. The problem is Ty Johnson had that explosive 23-yard run, and then you have Josh Allen averaging nearly 9 yards a carry, right? I mean,
the problem is the two big Josh Allen plays, the 40-yard touchdown and the 15, 20-yarder or whatever it was to
tight ends. The tight ends.
Oh my God, tight ends. I mean,
11 catches for 137 and 2 touchdowns between.
We were screaming this all week, man. How many times did I say over routes to these tight ends? Dude. Play action to these tight ends. How many times did I say it this week?
How many catches do you think wide receivers had for the Bengals or for the Bills? Catches, don't look.
I was looking at the box score. I averted my eyes as you started asking the question. I would guess like, let's see, Shakir have one, and Gabe Davis have. I would guess like 4.
Yeah, it's 7, but it's like Shavers had the 1 catch for 16 yards. Shakir had 2 catches for 16
I forgot
yards.
about Keon Coleman's too.
2 for 16. Gabe Davis 2 for 21. Like James Cook had more. 2 tight ends had more. Like it's just it's why like Ty Johnson had as many receptions as any of their receivers, and then Jackson Hall's obviously had the game winner. It's the tight ends thing is just so weird. Like figure it out a little. And they tried, like DJ Turner, like they tried to go that route some. It's just that's tough. That's a tough matchup if you're going to put DJ Turner on Dalton Kincaid, for example.
And honestly, it was good coverage from DJ Turner. That's a ball that I think like 20 quarterbacks in the NFL try to throw that pass. DJ Turner gets his hand on it, but Josh Allen throws with enough velocity that DJ Turner, I think he does get his hand on it actually, but can't deflect it enough. I'm pretty sure he got his hand on it. It looked like it to me. It looked like there was an adjustment from Kincaid, a slight deflection, but I think a lot of other quarterbacks don't get that much zip on it. And DJ Turner knocks it away. You credit Josh Allen in this game to some degree as well. The Bills did make plays. Josh Allen was awesome. Awesome against pressure. Awesome when they had to have it.
It's awesome.
The Bengals let down by multiple players in this game between drops and play calls and Joe Burrow, honestly, unfortunately. And like you said, like, yeah, there's a lot on his plate. He has to play perfect, but we've seen him play a lot better than this in terms of mistake-free football. He's played in ways that don't lead to that mistake. And unfortunately, for all the good things that I have to say about Joe's game, and he was great, that one play, 60% win probability swing in one play because the Bengals are driving and it's first down. Yeah,
sure.
That's a tough one.
Should have been a big play. It missed him. It's just sucks.
And I guess
it really does.
Benford too.
Well, no doubt. It's a heck of a play. Like that's a really hard play to make. No doubt.
Yeah.
Don't give him the opportunity to make it.
Yeah.
And but like think about it. Did Josh Allen give the Bengals an opportunity to make it? Not a play like that. They had a couple almost interception plays. DJ Turner, Jordan Battle.
Turner probably should have had the one. Battle would have been a great play.
Yeah. But I'm just, and by the way, those are the 2 guys in on the fumble. So there are some things. Linebackers, man. Let's be honest here. Linebackers.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Bengals down to a 3% chance to make the playoffs according to the Athletics playoff simulator. In case anyone was wondering, the Steelers winning today. I mean, not good, and a devastating loss for many reasons.
The Ravens will get the Steelers back. I'm not as worried about that as the loss.
Yeah, they had to win.
Got to win. Got to win games, Jake.
Oh,
Shocker.
Man. First game the Bengals have lost with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow as coin flip captains as well, I believe. The Thursday night magic, coming off a Thursday night, really, really bad for the Bengals. That trend overcomes all the other trends that we've talked about today.
Yep.
Let's wrap up there. We'll be back this week. We've got film to talk about. Got to take a look at the rest of the season now here. That's going to do it for this episode of the Locked On Bengals podcast. Until next time, Hoo day, and have a good one.
He said Hoo day. Wow.
Yeah.